no one knows it other than someone who's had it happen to them. And to have it happen with the consequences that happened tonight, the consequences for Kamaru Usman was he was going to go down as the greatest of all time. He's going to go down as the greatest welterweight champion of all time. He's the best pound-for-pound king, the most dominant champion, and then one perfect technique from a man who we've been describing all week as having that kind of technique. His technique is flawless. And another thing that we said about him, he's the guy who knows what to do in the right moment. It's one of the things that's so good about Leon is his IQ for fighting is so high because he knows what to land, when to land it. He just was being dominated by a superior grappler and a champion who had been dominating guys like Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington and Gilbert Burns. But one kick changed the world. And that's why this sport is so amazing.
And that's why we have the greatest job ever.
Greatest job ever.
Greatest job. I mean, we sit here and we get to watch that. I mean, this guy literally was 2 minutes from maybe forever losing his championship aspiration until someone had beaten Usman. He beats Usman. And for Kamaru Usman, it changes everything. You don't restart that 16 fight in a row win streak, tie Anderson Silva, and win tonight. You become the longest win streak in UFC history to start a career. You don't go back to win 7 championships. It's very hard to replicate what he had done. And it's once in a lifetime that you get these chances. So for him now, he's got to go back to the drawing board. Even if he believes, I was up 3-1, winning the 5th, and I can beat him in the 3rd fight, it still restarts everything.
And you know, there's a parallel here. And one of the parallels is the Nate Diaz fight. But Nate Diaz was fighting Leon. Leon relaxed. Because Leon was dominating Nate Diaz. And Nate cracked him with a left hand and had him in real trouble. But he couldn't finish the fight. And then Nate didn't finish, so Leon won the decision. And Leon's here tonight. Now Leon's a champion of the world. But it's a mental lapse.
Yeah.
The guy found the way. And this is what we've been saying about Leon is he has this knowledge, this understanding of what to strike with, what technique to use, when it's most effective. And it couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been better. To have him losing that fight the way he was losing, to have him get that first round, take Usman down, mount him, to make it such a wild and an entertaining fight, and having so many people at the end thinking that it was, we were resigned to the fact that Kamaru was going to win.
But to his corner just literally panicked.
Yes.
Because they were like, dude, what are you doing, Rocky? Give yourself a shot. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm making a movie out of this tonight. Because I'm going to cut the corner audio into the final with the Rocky playing. Dude, I spoke to Leon there and he said, I just have to be focused for 25 minutes. Never more true than 2 minutes left in the 5th round losing, and you go and get a knockout like that. Wow. I mean, less than a minute left. Now, I'm saying 2 minutes. There was less than a minute left. No follow-up shots needed because he landed that kick. So, Khamzat Chimaev goes, congratulations, see you soon. Unfortunately, I got a message for Khamzat Chimaev. Your journey to the title has now become longer. Because if anyone deserves a rematch, it's Kamaru Usman.
100%. 100%.
Says, see you soon. Sorry, Khamzat, but it's going to be a little bit longer for you now.
Khamzat can't sleep on Nate Diaz. You cannot sleep on Nate Diaz.
Khamzat kind of believes what the idea is.
Look at this man. I mean, he was crying. He was just filled with emotion.
His manager was crying too.
Look at that.
Mom, I told you, Mom.
Wow. He's crying with his mom on the phone. What a night.
Sports, man.
Oh, my God. MMA, the greatest entertainment value in all of the world. There's nothing like this.
No, I've said it time and time again. There's nothing like a UFC title fight. But my goodness, how lucky are we to have sports in our lives, and MMA in particular for us. It's like sports, man. It's like sports literally. It's like they make life better.
When are we gonna get this kind of thrill?
No,
like how can you get this in any other way to watch some
understanding now that life changed?
This might be the most moving one though. I mean, this one's crazy because we had kind of counted him out. Yeah, we counted him out.
Joe, this dude, this casket was halfway in the ground. Plus, we had seen Kamaru Usman get to that point before and continue down the path to win. So there is no wrong in what we did. It's hard to imagine something like that happening. It never happens.
Let's see it one more time. I want to see it one more time. I mean, so crazy. Champion of the world. Watch this one more time. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's flawless.
Watch the right hand first, Joe. He puts the right hand out halfway. Right hand out halfway.
All to set up the kick. The left hand had nothing on it. He never even tightened his
Right hand barely went anywhere.
Oh my goodness, that's the kick heard round the world. That's the greatest head kick in the history of sport. And we've seen them all.
We saw what Holly did to Ronda.
Yes, we
But
did.
it was early, but it wasn't this.
But this is different. This is different. I mean, all due respect to Ronda, Kamaru's on a different level. The whole thing is different. Everything's different. The dominance is different. The whole thing is different. The level of competition is different that Kamaru has bested. Everything's different. God, it's going to be the biggest fight ever.
Do you remember Amanda Nunes and Juliana's rematch? I was like, oh my goodness, somebody can actually compete with her. Now we know Leon can beat Kamaru Usman.
Imagine this in the O2 arena.
Oh my
Good.
Could you imagine?
Oh my, why not? He deserves it. He's the champ. And he won in the most spectacular way possible. Look, submissions are great. I love jiu-jitsu. But there's nothing like a head kick. The head kick is the greatest way to win a fight. And to win a fight by head kick in the 5th round against arguably, in my book, the greatest welterweight champion of all time.
Yes.
That's what I think Usman was. Kamaru Usman is, in my opinion, if there's George St. Pierre's number 1, he's number 2. The only reason why, you don't know who would win out of the two of them is because they haven't fought. But like in terms of greatest welterweights of all time, it's tough to fuck with Kamaru Usman. He's right up there at the top of the food chain. He doesn't have the credentials in terms of the overall volume of impressive victories as a champion because he's only defended. He won the title versus Tyron Woodley. He beat Colby Covington. He beat Gilbert Burns. He beat Masvidal. He KO'd Masvidal in the rematch. Like those are the big fights, and they're great, impressive fights. But George's legacy is so long. I mean, George's legacy is just. But George, in all fairness, I don't think he fought the same caliber of competition as Usman has. And it's no knock on George, just still one of the all-time greats. And, and George, when he came back and stopped Michael Bisping and choked him unconscious, you got to say, well, Jesus Christ, George is probably even better than he was when he was the champion. Because Bisping is fantastic. But I think that the level of competition that Usman has faced is arguably better.